pause button is. With yours, it's hit a pause button.
Gotcha.
Is the timer running?
Yep.
I'm going to ask you a lot of questions tonight.
Sounds good.
So, welcome to a parking lot, everybody. Congrats, you made it. I told you, they get to weird spots. But this place, I love it because the other tourists don't come here because there is nothing to see. But otherwise, my 10 goes on us, you have to spread out and you're not influencing one another. So where the hell are you? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. The mansion sat in the front of the space, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with 5 Church Restaurant, came all the way across, and we are standing in the servant slave quarters for the home. I guess I should pause there for just 1 second. All communication devices, this is where I start withholding information on purpose. I will not be giving you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the big red barn. You will be getting the answers from your spirit boxes. With this location, I'll give you the history of why we're here, spread you guys all out, work with all of you individually through 1 or 2 round robins, bring you all back and show you what the answers are, plus what we caught, to see what's actually going on here. I don't like to waste time. If I feel like it's super light, I'll regroup this pretty early. Again, I don't time this, we just go. So if we have a great night at this location, who knows? I've never had a night just last year, but you're seeing my point. We would spend 2.5 hours here if we had full-blown apparitions and everybody else talking to us. So let's kind of get into why we're here. The mansion. Who the hell were Charles and Eliza? They had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks in case you guys weren't paying attention. That's exactly why we look for secondary clues. I need to know which Charles is here so we know how to address them. Does that make sense to my listeners at this point? Perfect. Moving on. The son and the nephew, Charles and Charles, were both signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. Big deal for South Carolina, but I hate politics more than all of you combined. If I don't bring it up, by the way, the gentleman will do it for me in a nasty manner through a spirit box. So I just make sure I do it every night and we move forward. We're going to be talking about Eliza instead. Much better story, much better history in my eyes. But Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. I say it slowly because if you're going to ask her how old she was, do not expect numbers from the colonial times when young ladies got married like 12 and 14. Think of today's standards, because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was kind of a creepy age gap back then, it's kind of a creepy age gap now. So I just want to put that out there, kind of giving you that subtle clue. But anyway, she married him because her father was over in England, where Eliza's from, where her family's from anyway. And Dad thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all his children home to England so he can see them one last time. But Eliza didn't believe he was dying. So instead, she stayed put right here, got married. It's 1744. You do not get married in that particular year to earn a green card. We are not a country yet. It doesn't even exist. She married him out of love. This is a true love story, everybody. Nothing horrific about this location. If anything, it's a place of respect. Moving forward. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England for where you're standing. One of the gifts happened to be the plant seed of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye, makes your blue jeans blue. That's what we use it for today. However, when she got her seeds, no idea what to do with it. It's not always hot here, regardless of what you guys are feeling right now. She had to learn how to keep it going from her servants and slaves, and then learn how to make the dye. When she learned how to make the dye, she moved to a cash crop down by the Stony River, got a hold of her dad overseas, and told him that the rice plantations were going downhill. They were going to make a killing with this indigo. And she was correct, and we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. Now, that's a nice little breeze coming through, and there's no clouds, which means we're not going to get rain and dumped on. Normally, when we feel a breeze like that, we got rain coming quick, but we're fine. That's the boring business stuff of Eliza. Let's get into the weird shit, because that's why you guys are all here. Here's what's going to happen. All the communication devices, anything that generates communication, I am going to give you focus questions. I want you guys to keep in mind, we do have 3 cameras running, plus my voice recorder, and at least 5 communication devices. Your answers can go anywhere. So in the event that Leah's asking questions, Kim might get the answer. We never know. Even if it was just 2 of you here, we would still have at least 2 communication devices out just to make sure we can verify what the other one is doing. So let's kind of go around the horn with communication. So Cheyenne and Gabby, you guys are going to have the same set of questions because you're using the same style of spirit box. You're going to focus on her death. So she's pretty open about talking about it. 4 major questions we get answers to. How old she was when she died. What she died from. Where she's buried. Which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Okay, so age, how, where, president. So we're going to go with Kim and Leah. Your devices are hopefully going to work in tandem as well. You're going to be looking for Eliza's full name of E-L-P in that order. I don't want a P-L-E, L-P-E, just E-L-P, Eliza L. Pinckney. You're going to be hopefully finding out what the L stands for, because Eliza that I just told you about is the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. First wife died in January. 5 months later, he married the one I just told you about. kind of a jerk move if you think about it. Both Elizas, ironically, have the kind of maiden name that starts with the letter L. So I'd like to know which one we're actually dealing with. So far we have 3 Chucks, 2 Elizas. Next communication device. Yours is kind of like the lone board. This thing only gives us 1 inch of the letter. The mansion's not here anymore. If you see a mansion, you gotta take it. That's what happened to us. If you get the what, we normally have 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that occurred. So it's a very, obviously very specific number. So authenticate, even if it's only 1 month, it's very good to see how that actually works out. Any numbers coming on through yet, Mike?
Theoretically, yeah.
What have you seen so far?
8.1, I saw 13.
Nice. So we're going to escalate these numbers as we get into these spaces. So right now your baseline is a 13. I'm going to write down the 8 and take the 13 as well. But right now we're going to keep it moving forward. So if you get a 15, that'll be the new baseline. Don't give me anything below that. So we're going to move it forward for every new space we go to, and I'll always give you the baseline for that specific location if it's not a 2.5. So I'll always kind of keep, in check what's going on. So 13 is good. The average for this location is about 18 to 22. I'm just telling you what I normally expect 5 out of 7 nights a week out here. So that's kind of how this goes. So have you started your camera? All right, perfect. So everybody needs, we're going to go ahead and spread out. We're going to stay within the confines of this slot. I'll do 1 and 2 round robins, and I'm going to keep Lena with me so I can show her how to use that device, and then I'm going to be with Mike and kind of explain some of those things. Anything funky going on there? Battery doing okay?
Look pretty good right now.
Good deal.
All right, you said age, how, when, present.
You got it. Look at you remember shit. Love it. You've already seen it go like over it, right? So 45.
We're 40. For her age. I hear One Direction.
This way.
Age, I got 40 and 100. How? I got hurricane. And then I can't get the other one.
Separated the corner. I think that's hysterical.
Yeah.
What have we heard so far? What do we got?
For age, I got 40 and 100. That's few and far between. Then I asked how she died. And, I mean, this probably just goes with what's going on, but I heard hurricane.
Remember that it's not always going to be a direct answer.
Yeah.
You might not hear your answer for 5 to 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that's why you're just going to tell me all the silly shit.
Okay.
So if you hear the song Hands on My Knees, I want to know that you heard Hands on My Knees.
Oh, I've heard What Makes You Beautiful. I've heard Bring Me a Higher Love. Like I've
Yeah. Well, you're
Okay.
hearing a lot of love songs.
Yeah.
You see the theme?
Yeah, a lot of love songs.
Yeah,
A
that's how it
lot of them.
How's it, Cam, dude? Is it awesome? Is it suck?
I want one of these.
Have you seen anything?
Oh, I'm trying to.
How
I'm
clear
still
is it?
it's clear.
I'm curious. I'm going to turn this off because it does have 4 on the front of it, or 3 on the front. So I just want to see how bright this is compared to the one it comes with.
Just heard Need Some Help.
Sorry. Yeah, I'd say that definitely is a big help. And those videos will go to YouTube. So if I'm not following up with you as much as far as like what have you seen, I'm more about like how's it handling, like I'm watching how your hands are operating it, so forth and so on. So
I feel like Kim could use a little bit further instruction.
okay.
So she's still not totally sure how to use it. So I think they should go over there. She's just around the other side. I'm still just trying to figure out what's shadows and what's not.
So if you can't tell, then that's... What's that? What is that?
What's wrong?
This is... Oh, it's where the light's reflecting. Shit. You're sweating, ain't you?
Oh, I'm dying.
That's all the alcohol. You gonna live on me?
15 minutes into a 2.5 hour tour.
Yeah. We're 45 minutes in. We started at 9.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing a whole lot here, but...
Huh?
I'm not really seeing a whole lot here, but...
You might not see anything.
Probably. I don't know.
We can't go in with that mindset. Okay, let me go back into my little... You alright?
Yes.
You see anything in the windows? Huh? What? What's wrong with you?
I get like this on the stand too long.
Sorry. Sit down. I was about to sit down.
Yeah. Remember, try to make words out of those letters. You have Olaf? He melted in this heat. Anything else weird going on?
A bunch of love songs, 2:30 a.m. and 1895. And a lot of love songs. Like every other sound is some type of love song.
2:30 a.m. What was the one after that?
1895.
It's very specific here.
I know. It was like separate. It was like 18 and 95.
Oh, so two separate numbers then.
Yeah.
Okay. I see where you're going with it though. Just remember, I did call her from colonial times, which is 1700s.
Okay.
So not trying to insult intelligence here. It's just a matter of like I like to refresh people's brains from high school because not everybody remembers this shit.
I got loaf and faux.
Faux is good.
Yeah.
Especially some shit.
Trying not to
Loaf.
cars in
Hi.
there.
I just heard a bunch of laughing.
All right. Let's see what we ran it in. All right, guys. Let's rein it in. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna get the word home here.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys can pause and stop your camera.
Gotcha.
So Mike in here, you're looking for an 8 or above. We have some lampposts nearby that will create electricity, so we want to make sure it's definitely goes normally up to a 7. We'll start off with spirit boxes. I know we have the word pot that came out of yours. Anything else specific? Where? Like Wanda. All right, Gabby, what have we got out of yours?
Nothing yet.
You didn't hear anything along the way?
No.
Okay. So Kim, word list. Last 4 or 5 terms?
Awareness, mad, burning, sad.
Wow.
And
The thing it said you're going to be okay. We left the parking lot.
Lots of fire stuff.
dying cathedral and felon.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, and then a bunch of like hymns and church music. Just kind of. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's our tallest steeple. It happens all the time over here.
It's amazing.
St. Philip's Church. That's where we're actually headed
Well.
next. Anybody else with a video? What you got?
Bundy.
Bundy? Like Al Bundy.
I was thinking Ted Bundy.
Yeah, I know. Al Bundy.
I mean, it's
Definitely different age groups.
I like
going
Al
on.
Bundy, though.
That was where my mind went.
Bundy. Holy cow. That's a long one. Oh yeah, cameras, get them up and running, but you don't need to keep them huddled into the circle. You almost want them outside the circle. Now, other tours may pass through here. In the event that they do camera people, they're going to come out of the ivy wall to the front, so there's a little staircase right there, or they're going to come in the way that he did. If random tourists are coming through from all the way at the other end of the alley, you're also going to lower your cameras. So again, let's not make the tourists go over the cameras. Right? You're looking at it going, what the hell?
Recording by this great man.
Right? That's wrong.
It's got 190.
At the temperature?
Yeah. Fire, burning.
Well, the fire and burning also makes sense over here because you're in Philadelphia Avenue. Where's Kerry?
Care Bear.
So, this is named Philadelphia Alley because they had to rename it after dueling between illegal and stupid. Basically, it was already illegal, but they had to rename it because everybody was just calling this the town. This was something that was occur. But Philadelphia is one of the cities that helped Charleston out of many, many fires, very financially. So they named it after Philadelphia, which is where you're standing right now, Philadelphia House. We're here to discuss duels. However, I'm going to tell you that every ghost story, all 338 ghost stories in Charleston, come through this alley. From Ryan Tippet's Ride, we have the whole thing to ourselves at this point. I was actually going to take this out of my route because it is a staple for every other ghost story. But I'm going to give you a few extra details out of the story because you're ghost hunting, and not only campfire and marshmallow ghost story like everybody else. So let's kind of get into it. We all tell the same story, so let's start it off. Nothing super surprising yet other than the fire and burning stuff, just so you guys know on my end. The doctor moved down here from Rhode Island. So here you're looking for the letters R-I specifically in that order for the Rhode Island. His name is Dr. Joseph Brown Flagg. Those of you listening to the two spirit boxes, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl while we're here, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. Anyway, he moved down here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney, helping her out with all the cash. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. The doctor. We're going to let Aunt Bonnie come through here. How you doing, girl? Sweating to death, but we're good.
Close enough to the gate, I could have jumped out and said, "Boo."
You could have. So, Dr. Ladd moved down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after Amanda's money. On his way into town, he had a coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. Kind of like having a really bad Uber driver in today's world. I know, right? They have to give like different references when they have different age groups among everybody. So, keep pinpointing them, but they're way younger than the rest of us, right? So, somebody's walking by, seeing what's about to happen with the coachman and the newcomer, and the person walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs. Those initials sound familiar to you guys? Which is exactly why I bought the device that Lee is holding. I was getting RI all the time on a regular spirit box, and bought this to verify it. We've had it about 6 or 7 times in the past year with Ralph's name only, no Rhode Island. So anyway, back to Ralph. He told the doctor, dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill me. Come with me to 59 Church Street where I have some friends that will rent a room. The doctor took him up on the offer, and two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. So, Amanda gets wind of this. She's moving down so they can be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is the other reason why I hate the story. It's a giant cliche. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit in your entire life from here on moving forward, you're going to have a cliche whistling doctor. We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So why are we in Duelist Valley? Let's get into that. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets hierarchies. On the way home from seeing Richard III, they're arguing over the new actress they just saw, and Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. They start arguing, and then Ralph is insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly. They go their separate ways. Ralph has friends around town, so he goes to the newspaper and places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a weird disgrace to society kind of shit. The doc saw this ad and rebutted with, let's go to Duelist Alley. We're going to settle this, and somebody's going to die. Keep in mind, this whole argument started over an actress. I just like to point that out one last time. Pretty dumb shit. Now, the two gents came down back to back for 10 paces. They turn, Doc points his gun in the air. He was not going to kill his friend. They just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight, which is often what happens at a duel. But Ralph has his one bullet still. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die. Ralph was his point. So this. Doc's friends pick him up, took him home to 59 Church Street. He dies 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. Two things about that last statement. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then in the way we think of them now. So secondly, he's a doctor. Probably somebody had blood poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but obviously he failed. Every ghost story tells you to listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras running, plus my voice recording. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, it's going to show up on one of those 4 devices. However, the 2 red spirit boxes, I can't tell you how many times I have the whistling part of a song and then the word doctor from a commercial immediately afterwards. You already know I listen to minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, and there's a pattern. It just happens dozens upon dozens of times while we're here. So again, he's this guy follows me around town. That's why with the alley and the work phone that showed up on Leah's place, I was kind of like, where are we going with this dog? Like, why are you following? All right, man. You're shiny and new.
As soon as we walk down the alley, I heard, I want to tell you that we hear you.
Okay. Anybody else got anything weird?
No, full sense.
You're gonna hear some like sexual innuendos because we're near Anne Bonny. The tale that I would normally tell about her was of her many, many lovers. So yeah, we get a lot of sexual stuff over here still. Let's see. Where are we? I can hear you, or I can still hear you.
I want to tell you that we can hear you.
Correct.
Wow, that's a long phrase.
Yeah.
9 words. Anything else being heard? Actually, nothing. Kim, where are we at with the list? What was the last one?
Society, stay, pond, living. Yeah. When you're over there, publication, distinctive, gun.
I like the publication and gun. Like, that makes complete sense over there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. Especially the publication. Like, we don't normally see things like that because it all started with that ad in the paper.
Yeah, then there was
Yeah.
doubt.
I was
Doubt
just heard that was coming.
done.
I like it.
Doubting the story. Base. Awareness. Mad.
Yeah, no, because we had that stuff when we were walking into the alley.
I legit just heard God is coming.
More religious terms.
Yeah.
I only give you guys one of those because we're near the church. As
Yeah.
far as the religious phrases go.
Well, yeah, we tried to get bourbon on Sunday. We were told that too.
Yeah.
They told you God was coming.
Me too. They're like, where are you from? And I'm like, why does that matter?
We're not familiar with
We
the
all like
blue
different
laws.
alphabets.
All right, so welcome to, we're going to be waiting our turn. Every tour stops up there. It's usually their last stop, and it wasn't even part of my route, but look across the street, that's where I would tell you the pirate story. So this was just a quick fix because we're near the anniversary of what happens over there. Here's what happens over there. So there's a sign right inside that cemetery that says, there's no ghost here, but the Holy Ghost. They don't want jerks like me with cameras like what I gave Austin tonight to try to recreate what happened. Here's what happened. Who heard 84? Was that? It's weird. I don't know why it's ringing a bell with me. But anyway, 1888. A young lady passed away by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. What are her initials, everybody? It's cheesy, it's campy, but we get it all the time. I've actually had teenagers that don't listen to me all night long with those red spirit boxes, and all of a sudden they're like, somebody just shushed me, and everybody starts laughing, kind of mentality. But we have gotten the initials, obviously, on our little Ouija board device, and we've seen it on Kim's word generator, so take it for what it's worth. Sue dies 6 days after her stillborn child. Another dead baby. Sorry. However, 1987, exactly 99 years later, on the exact date of June 16th of the anniversary of her death, so we had a local photographer. His name was Harry Reynolds. And Harry takes a picture of a full-blown apparition in that cemetery. It's 1987. He doesn't have the tech that we have now with the applications and Photoshop and all the things. So he sends it off to Kodak. Kodak is a place where we used to send our pictures so we can hold them. So, sorry, I always have to explain that to teenagers. That's a nice running joke with us, Gen Xers out here.
So we can hold them.
So we're going to hold them. Now, he sends it off to Kodak. Kodak can confirm the camera that he says he took the picture on, and that the picture was not altered. If you remember, back then, photographers actually developed their own film. So he didn't alter it in any way. The picture is said to be cursed. That's why I didn't always like to tell the story, because it's cursed to females. You can see my demographic. It's normally mainly women. So that's kind of how this goes. I usually get to drag along husbands, right? But anyway, so it's cursed to females that are said to handle it in a digital format even still. So tablet or phone, headache, nausea, dizziness. Yeah. So even if we have something,
We're having that right now, so
yeah,
show us
true.
the right now.
I'm going to show you the picture anyway. Just don't touch my tablet. But
Okay,
the gist of this,
okay.
like even further still, pregnant females are said to not have a good pregnancy based off the gist of the story. You can see where I don't want to be the guy who's somebody who had a great honeymoon and 9 months later I curse their family. I do this for a living. I don't need that stigma on my business. You guys get the point. But anyway, I am going to show you the picture. Don't touch the damn tablet. Now, if we do have something relevant to this story while we're at this location, I will always, and I have to give you a link to verify it, it'll say safe link without the cursed photo, so that way in case you accidentally open it up on your phone, you're not going to get a headache while sitting in the restaurant trying to eat them. So you guys are getting the point. I know, right? I take this stuff very seriously, as I'm sure you guys can tell that already. Where is that apparitional picture? Where did she go? We're going to start off with our skeptic. Full picture. Apparition is right here. You're looking at her back. She's wearing a shawl. There's a baby basket right next to her that is her grave.
She's looking at you for a reaction.
Pretty cool stuff, huh? Now, if you guys go home and Google like top 100 best apparitions ever caught, this is normally in that top 100, which is exactly why all the other ghost tours have a show and tell at the end of their night, so you might let them have it. So you're looking at her back. So that she's wearing a shawl, and then there's a baby basket right next to her. I want you guys to also remember what I told you guys about the painting, where the mother of the baby might be buried with mom. I can find no records of the baby whatsoever. No birth, no death. So the baby might be buried with mom as well. So full picture. And you can see what that would definitely look like.
Yeah, that's
Okay. So when we get up there, I'm going to point out where her grave is at so all the cameras can focus. And the beautiful thing with your new camera, it has zoom.
Oh, yeah.
So I want you to zoom in on that shit as close as you can get, and that way I can test it out. Zoom in and out, so that way I can kind of like double check. While we're still waiting, I'm going to explain our next two stops, just because they're a lot different than what we've been doing. So our next two stops are more experiments, not with just with an apparition. So the next stop is a murder mystery. Beauty of that, I don't have all the answers. You guys are going to help me come up with questions. However, we're going to be doing a live EVP session. So what does that mean? I am basically going to take Leah, and I'm going to have her sit down on a set of stairs, and I'm going to give her this crazy voice recorder where she can hear a frog fart from a mile away. Yeah, it's pretty intense stuff. So she's hopefully going to capture a full disembodied voice with that voice recorder. So I only do this during the week just because of the noise that goes on down here. I will tell you the murder mystery of what we know about this murder mystery at this point, and then you guys will be asking the questions. You guys have already seen like how we've operated with a couple of different locations, looking for nouns and all of the facts. The last location, we're going to be doing the Estes method. So is anybody not familiar with this? You guys blank faces, I'll explain. So here's what's going to happen. So I am going to take the two red spirit boxes. Yep. So Cheyenne, Gabby, you two are going to sit on a bench. Ashley's going to be with you, but she has a whole different like aspect of what she's going to be doing. So the two of you.
We're gonna
He did
ban
that
Banshee.
purpose.
Is that our
Are you
disembodied
recording
voice?
this shit? You have the Banshee on film?
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
This is the cryptozoology tour now. Nice. But anyway, sitting on the bench, I'm gonna teach everybody else the history besides you three. So you're not gonna know anything about the location whatsoever or the ghost. Then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna give you two blindfolds. You're gonna be blindfolded and you're gonna be listening to your spirit boxes loud enough to where you can't hear me. I will be questioning you as if you are the ghost. You will be repeating things as you hear them. So if you hear it up right through your spirit box, you say it immediately. You don't know what I'm asking. It should look like a conversation. Your portion of this, you're going to be wearing your virtual reality headset. Wait, it gets better. It's going to be generating images from artificial intelligence based off of the EMF around us.
Oh, God.
Now, your portion of this is about...
I get to sit down?
Yeah, you'll be able to sit down. Yeah, all three of you will be seated. Like, I don't have you guys wandering around the park with virtual reality headsets. So you won't know anything either. But you'll be able to hear me. So you'll hear the questioning that I have for these two, but you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? And all of a sudden, you're going to have these random images show up. You're going to describe what those images are in real time to see if it ties with what the conversation looks like. That's the hope. Now, what you're doing is about 45% accurate. So I've been doing this experiment almost a year now. It's 45% accurate as a whole. So we might get 0 images. You might have 12. Average is about 4, just so you know. What I'm doing with the two ladies with the blindfolds, it's about 30% accurate. So it's a 1 out of 3 chance that it will be a decent session. I will tell you, just about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now, I had a psychic beg me to do this, and she hadn't listened to my spirit boxes yet. So I sped it up for her so she can just use the white noise as kind of like a transitional medium. She had a reaction for every question I asked. I normally will count 4 direct answers as being a full-blown success with one of these sessions. We had about 40 interactions. Like, it was crazy. One of the best things I've ever... And I only keep you guys under for 10 minutes. Like, that's it. It can be a little overwhelming, especially when we're in this kind of heat and whatnot. That virtual reality headset's going to be sliding down your nose.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So don't worry, I sanitize everything. All right, they're moving. We're going to take their spot. Let's get to work. Try to stop this.
Right? That was so crazy. I know when I'm looking at like,
Yeah, that sounds like
We're going to give them just a minute. I'll point that out. You can hit that pause button so it starts recording. This is the tour. I've been waiting like 10 minutes. So we were waiting on that other group, and we had like 2 minutes to get some.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Alright, so let's get you up in here first. You're gonna this is the sign that says there's no ghost here, but the Holy Ghost, and then you, all three cameras, where you at? Let's get you guys up in here. So do you guys see the cross in the back? Your graveyard that we're looking for with Miss Howard and Miss Howard Hardy is
To the right of the light.
to the left of the cross headstone. You can probably see it better from over here. So Kerry, if you move over a little bit, yeah. So it's just to the left, one more row back. That's where we're looking. So the cross, and then to the left of the cross, one more row back. We were actually closer to her when we were in the alleyway. I hit that record button. See the cross back there?
Yeah.
So in your video, we're right about there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put it right, like your camera's here, so put it in between the bars. There you go. That way you don't have the bars in view. We're looking right in this area right here. So hopefully we get something. Now yours has a lot of layers. So obviously we have a lot going on with that tree. So with yours doesn't zoom. The only one that zooms is the one that Austin has at this point. Have you zoomed in yet, Austin? Just curious.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious. Now, I will tell you, does anybody remember what June 16th was this year? Anybody? Dads in the group?
Father's Day.
It was Father's Day. Good job. So I don't work on the holidays. I own a business. I can do whatever I want. So the night of the 15th, my office is right around the corner. So I was done with that team's data. So I was like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go see what I can capture. It's now June 16th, after midnight. So I came down here with the little infrared camera that I did have at the time. I poked it through the fence, and I hear this. Hey, are you kidding me? Someone's monitoring the grounds? So I just pulled my camera out from the grate, and I went over to my car and just drove away. I only got 1 minute and 8 seconds worth of footage. I went back to go check to see if it was actually there. There's nothing on the camera. So, I mean, I cranked up the sound, listened to earbuds, like everything. Nothing on the damn camera. I was like, man, I could have probably stayed at least about 5 minutes worth of video for TikTok or something. How we doing on there, Austin? Anything crazy? Getting pretty close?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Did you tell him that one yet?
What you got? It does have some spooky turns in there. It's going to try to scare you.
I got 62, 59, morning.
59. Do you remember what 59 is? It's Dr. Ladd's address. 59 Church Street. 62.
There was a lot of Christian music when we came over here.
Not surprised by that. Cheyenne, you got anything going on with yours? Can't hear me. Awesome. I love when they're so focused they ignore me. Great. Any other words on this?
Yeah, there was one other one.
Malevolent and Satan right next to each other. Imagine that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Alright, Austin, how do you feel about that? Think we got enough footage to gauge?
I don't think so.
Okay. Just for the sake of the other tour waiting on us, guys, I don't want to be too rude on them. I already don't have friends in this industry, because I do take a lot of their business. So let's go ahead and hit stop on your cameras. We're going to move on. Somebody's driving by and sees a woman on the ground, so he stops to help her out. He can't figure out what's wrong with her. So he helps her into his car and takes her to the hospital. That's where MUSC sits now, but it was St. Local. She gets there, she's a doctor. The doctor's name is Dr. James Avery Bingham. Very silly name, but we do get all 3 parts of his name while we're here. So, the doctor can't figure out what's going on with her either. Saying the same thing. Let me go, I know I'm going to die, a man hates me. She dies on his table. Her name is Mary Ravenel. Came here from Mount Pleasant, drove over the giant bridge. That's the Ravenel Bridge. Ravenel is a very prominent name here in Charleston. If you watch Southern Charm, it is also a name from Southern Charm. So kind of like, yep, I like this. So, doctor figured out what was wrong with her, so he sends her to the coroner and the autopsy room. Coroner finds a scrape underneath her arm and a bullet hole inside of her ribcage. She was shot with a 38. Bullet went all the way through her chest and killed her. Now, with that said, don't kill people, dude. Don't kill people. Thank you. It's a big stick Mary Ravenel was a very prominent woman here in Charleston, and we don't know who she was because when the person picked her up, they drove her away, and the shooter got away. Here's what we know. Mary was 64 years old when she died. So that probably changes your questioning a little bit. She is a widow. She married into the Ravenel family, and she is from Detroit, Michigan. So I thought it's kind of like your guys' phone numbers when they set up to me today. So I was like, well, we got two Michigan people coming in. So just think about Penny Earth marrying into a very Southern family. How would those Southerners feel about her taking all of his money after he passes away? Probably not in a very good way. There's no gunshot residue on her body, and all of her cash and jewelry were intact. She was not wrong. What questions would you come up with to ask Mary so that Leah can hear her actual voice? What would you want to know? If there's a theory behind your question, I'll let you know.
Do you know who shot you?
Do you know who shot you? So even though that's a yes/no question, it's okay because there would be an elaboration. Yes, I do. No, I don't.
Yeah.
So if yes/no questions are okay, I'm glad you asked that question, and that's wrong. What else?
How did you see the shooter?
Okay, I like it. What else? And you're not asking. You said, was there a woman? She did say a man hit me. And you're not asking me these questions. If Mary's listening, you're asking her. I'm just showing you that ghost hunting isn't about walking into an empty room and screaming into the darkness. It's about having conversations and building relationships.
Why were you attacked?
Why were you attacked? What was the motive? Like, there's a lot of theories behind why she was shot. Some say that they were shooting at the cats in the neighborhood and she got in the way. Why the hell you're shooting at cats with a 38? I don't know. I don't even know much about guns, and I know that's a little too extreme. Trying to think of the other theories. So another theory was that she had her own 38. It was in her handbag. She tripped, she fell, and it went off in her handbag. Hence no gunpowder residue because it went on the outside of the hole. So there's another theory, but that was made by a Ravenel family member. So take that for what it's worth. I will tell you what we've caught so far where you're trying to think of other questions on this recording. This is the new space for this year. I do change this up from year to year. So a couple of weeks after we started coming here, it's very quiet, just like it is right now. We have a hotel in the background. It's going to be around. I sent one of y'all around the phone just to double check. It's going to be there. A couple of weeks later, I hear a help me, I have fallen. By the way, both of those pieces were caught in real time. The person listening is what caught it. So, help me, I have fallen. I go back and verify it. It's the same damn voice. I have the audio software to compare this stuff, and I had the common keyword of help, so I was able to compare that separately. You have to imagine the type of stuff that I do with your guys' data. So again, same voice. I do have some mumbles. I can't make them out, so I don't count those. So again, I'm the guy that wants it crystal clear. Any other major questions before I tell you why I do this?
So you could ask her for medical attention.
Okay. Can you hear a voice that's not ours? By all means. Shout out. And if someone's walking around, because I do every once in a while, do this on the weekend if I have like some of my regulars who do this 3 or 4 times a year and this is something new they haven't seen yet. I'll say, there's a tour walking by. This was local night for myself, so I'm not mistaking the tour for a bunch of ghost walking. So the experiment we're about to do, and the point that Ashley is going to be doing with the virtual reality headset, one night we had the number 33, Mary, and murder, come out of the 2 people that were blindfolded on the bench. I had no idea what it meant, and then we had this image show up that I'm about to show you, and this is how I learned about the story. I was like, there's got to be a tie here. I don't even know what it is, but I stumbled across it. So, the picture I'm about to show you is of Mary Ravenel herself, but the image that we also saw that night Mary's going to be on the left. The image from artificial intelligence is on the right. Just so you guys know. Mary on your left, artificial intelligence on the right. So you can see where I was like, the 33 murdered Mary. It was 1933 when this all happened.
Should anything in there? No, you can't. Well, not cars.
So it's stuff like this that really starts to pique my interest, and I have to dive into like what's going on here. I was actually happy to have a more relevant story because this story is only 90 years old versus 300-year-old stories I've been telling you guys all night long. So it breaks things up a little bit. So any other major questions, or does anybody want to try the headset that Leah's wearing? Wow, no takers.
I'll try. Okay.
Jump up here.
Okay. I didn't know that now.
I think you got to hand that to him.
You can hold it for me.
I'm sure he's going to want it.
Okay, come on up. You just sit in the spirit box next to you. We'll give you about a minute on there. And anybody else that wants to take a time on it, again, because it is such a unique experience, I would mention you guys have that opportunity. Yeah, with this, that's going to be wrong.
No, I don't think you want to keep.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to use that. Yeah, we're not going to use that for next location. Actually, all right.
Because I heard something young, but I thought it was like the other was the gold.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So you guys know, my mother-in-law uses that thing to watch TV with when she visits. Because I got a house full of people. I wish we just pointed in the right direction and she's good to go. It's intense in there. You guys do get this full recording back. I listen to it from start to finish. One thing I do when I get back to the office, just so you know, which is no problem, because I do change the settings from time to time. So twice a month, but it teaches me like how to adjust the settings to make it a little bit more clear. Yeah, a little bit more. Any other takers? Take a quick listen. Okay. Track square, 1, 2, 11, fire.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Or right now.
Yeah. True. We gotta be out down there on a weekend. Like I am literally that. Like fishing, we're trying to find anything.
Yeah.
Find that. It's really hard. Any other words on there? Yeah. We had some really good stuff, and we had some like, pretty nice. I think everybody can agree to that. And again, I hope you guys prove my honesty, because again, I'm not here to make stuff up. I want to find myself as much as you guys do. All right, let's get blindfolds and quick. Let's do this. No, when we come back, I will give you guys a few tips and tricks of what to expect out of this and how to go about doing what you're about to do. So just become best for a few minutes and change TikToks and have a good time. We'll be back. All right, everybody, let's go this way. I know the beard's got to be fuzzy, man. Like, it was poker straight when I left the house. I could feel it. Like, it just immediately went. Like, I took out the beard beads today. I'm like, they're just going to be hidden by the time I get out there. Like, I did that. I won one day last week. It was just as humid. My wife came home from work, and I was like working out in the yard or whatever. She's like, "Did you put beard beads in today?" I'm like, "There's like 3 of them in there. Can you not see them?" She's like, "Yeah, they're gone." Anyway, so this place was the new spot for last year. Here's how this one goes. So the first time I came in here, I only had 2 people. It was November. It was cold. Everybody canceled. You guys got the point. So that's when I started experimenting with spots anyways, right after Halloween. I always look for a new spot right after Halloween, like this time. So I only had 2 people. The young lady listening to the spirit box heard the year 1828 and the name Henry. I actually had Tim's word list, because that's what I would normally carry when there's only 2 people there. So we have a verification of it. And I had the name Tim that showed up on the word list. That bust that they're all standing next to is Henry Timrod. He was born in 1828. Kind of like a hot damn. That was my ghost. So here's how the story goes. It's very quick and short, and then I'll show you what to expect out of this. By the way, everybody has a role when we get over there. In the event that the 2 ladies blindfolded are not giving me answers, they're going to show up on either your digital Ouija board or Kim's digital word list. If you guys get a word, just tell me what it says. Just say the word. That's it. Because again, they're not going to be able to hear us. All 3 cameras, obviously we want to film directly with yours. Just keep your camera focused on them. Play around with the zoom. Be a crazy filmographer. The other 2 cameras, feel free to just do standstill 360s going around if you want to. We have caught apparitional things with both of your cameras at this location. And yes, we've caught triple digits in here, over 100. So definitely keep an eye on it while we're in here. Here's Henry's story. He's sick for most of his life, and he's a writer. Born in 1828, he can go fight for the Civil War for the Confederate side. He goes out to the battlefield, and his comrades realized he was too sick to fight. They sent his ass home knowing he was a writer, told him to go be the voice of the war. Go tell people what's going on out here. So he came home to Charleston, started writing poetry about the battlefield. He became known as the Laureate of the Confederacy. It's a pretty big title in the writer world. However, he's doing pretty well for himself, and he has a son. His son's name is Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve, but he died 9 months later. Last dead baby of the night, last story, I promise. So I know, it's always a lot of dead babies. But anyway, he dies 9 months later. Henry's not writing as much. And he has a writer friend of his that realizes he's not writing as much. He offers him his cottage in Columbia and says, go get back on track in my cottage, man. Leave your wife Katie behind to mourn with her parents that were here visiting. Henry goes out to the cottage. That's where he wrote his last words. His last words, beholder of brief mortality, which in today's modern English, dear person with a short life. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. He died right there, age 38, pen in hand. Perfect way for a writer to go, you thought. But wait, there's more. Bad infomercial because we're late at night. Now, we're here because of the blood stain. They show it 1 day a year at the Charleston Library Society, but you have to be a member to go see it. And they only show it on Halloween. That's it. It's because it looks like a man writing at his desk. We call it the Blood Book. You have to be a member to go see it, but the internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you what the Blood Book looks like, and then we're going to go talk to a ghost. You guys are like melting. I can see like the sweat pouring off you now that we're in like a little bit of street lamp light.
I got 2 we're gonna act a day.
Here is your blood book. The blood stain looks just like that. It's all silhouette of a man writing at his desk. For me, as a writer, this tells the whole story. Order of brief mortality, pop, death, and that's what you get. Wow. So, there's your blood book. And we have actually had images show up under actual birth reviews in this shape of it.
Oh, really?
So, you guys all know the gist of the story. We're going to huddle around them, not super tight because it is, again, not all out here, but just well enough to where the other group isn't staring at us instead of their own tour guide. We are the weirdos. Let's do this. Oh, yeah, this guy's weird.
Maybe it's 16 or 20 days, because that's what it would do for me. Yeah. There's no instruction. It comes apart. Yep, there we go.
Alright, family members, I need you guys to kind of huddle around so you guys know those taps over here. Alright, so Austin and Kerry. So you guys are going to be kind of my tappers in case something goes wrong here. So 2 things. In the event that they're too loud, you're going to tap your loved one on the shoulder. And you quiet down, you have neighbors that try not to pick them up. The other thing is when we're done, we're going to tap you on the leg and never touch any of you that sit on our bench. So again, when we're done, you take off your own gear. In the event something goes awry, when you're having a hard time breathing or whatever, feel free to take off your own gear. If I see those kinds of things, I don't write anything down at this point to make sure you guys are doing okay. This could be over-exhilarating for some people. I'm sure you guys are going to be able to tell me very, very shortly. So I'll set up your thing and I'm kind of letting them know what to answer with. This is also okay to answer yes, no answers. If you hear yes or no, say it. Don't forget to talk. If you hear it, say it in real time. You don't know what I'm asking. That's the great thing. So she's obviously going to work through everything. She's not a while. So we're going to do this for 10 minutes. You're going to see, have you ever done virtual reality before?
Yeah,
Okay,
we have an Oculus.
okay, this is not Jurassic Park in your face, just so you know. You're going to see a galaxy from a distance, just kind of floating there. Moving things around, don't need to look in the galaxy, just there so you don't fall asleep. Just stand there. Every once in a while, a picture will show up in front of it. You're going to briefly describe what you see. 3 ladies parked bench seat. They're going to be talking, and if they're not talking, I'll ask you follow-up questions. What are the 3 ladies wearing? What color is the bench? You know,
So I should be saying what I'm seeing.
you got it. And again, you might not get any pictures. You might get 12. I never know. Average is about 4.
Okay. And I should just sit here and just look around.
Look straight ahead. It'll line up with you.
All right.
And again, it's one image. It's not the whole
Gotcha.
thing. This is your focus.
Yep. Okay.
I love the glasses on the top of that.
It makes us snug.
I know, right? Your box is up. Let's do it.
I got all
Now you did.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly, alright. Alright. Henry, I got 3 ladies on the
Good
bench tonight.
times.
I know you don't always like ladies on the bench.
Oswald.
Wow.
.org. Underrated.
facing away from me, white shirt, it's like a shadow. Just tap them.
Henry, I know you're trying to give us some
On
kind
the
of
bed.
give us some kind of image. We're going to start off like we always do, unless you want to change the subject. Tell me about your job. Tell me about your work.
Isn't it?
Tell me what you're proud of. You should be proud of your work. We learn about you, Henry. Henry, if you brought anybody else here with you, like Dr. Ladd?
Obliterated. Earthquake.
Wow. Obliterated in earthquake. Henry? Can you verify that you're here? Dr. Ladd, if you're here, you know your code word. By the way, his
Grace.
code word is purple. So if the word
Investigation.
purple shows up from them or the 2 of you, obviously we got Dr. Ladd here.
Orange.
That's a weird word you don't hear out of the radio.
Nice to meet you, Henry.
Yep, we got lots of folks here, Henry. It is very warm out here. We'd love to hear from you so we can go home
Blood.
and shower. Blood.
That's right.
Henry, that's your work, isn't it? The blood.
Learn.
Can you tell us what day of the year that they actually
Filed
showed,
in federal court.
that they showed
Ego.
your blood book?
We went missing.
Henry?
96. A nice restaurant.
What day of the
Adams.
year, what day of the year
Oops.
did they show your blood book? You can show us. Give us an image.
Quiet.
Henry, you want me to talk about something else?
Eagle.
Just say fly. Like fly and eagle at the same time?
Mother.
Henry. Somebody else come here with you? Does he have some question? Okay, well, he's by himself. Henry.
Memory.
Wow. Of course, you gotta get loud.
He was.
Silent son. He was a beautiful memory. Come on, Jack.
Go.
Yeah, he does need to go.
Multiple fans.
Mike, you got anything? Henry? Speaking of what you said, you did say he was a beautiful memory.
One.
Tell us how old he was. How many months? How old was his son? How long have you had Swirl with there?
Just a few months.
Guardian.
That's his birthday. Christmas Eve.
Wait.
Henry, let's get back to you. Let's talk about your work again. Who was your good friend that lent you his cottage in Colombia? Whose cottage was that? Questions I don't normally ask Henry. I'm trying to get into more detail.
I dressed up,
Let's get her a tap on the shoulder. Kerry, where you at?
waited. Good.
No, quiet down. Quiet down.
I've got an image of
What do you got?
a building. Brick structure with a door. It looks like kind of like a cartoon house.
Henry, is this the cottage?
Everything.
Whose house is this?
Front door, 2 windows, couple rocks up to the front door. Various large rocks around it, and a back quarterback.
Henry, whose house is this in the image? And you guys get all the images, okay? And they're going to be able to see the images before we all start this.
Money,
Henry, we're running out of time. We're down to like 2.5, 3 minutes.
fishing hole.
Henry, whose house was that you wrote your last words in?
One.
Can you tell us his first name? You can use any of the boxes here.
All I've been thinking about.
Henry,
Never fail.
Edward?
okay, Henry, let's talk about the last line you wrote. Can you give us one of the words from your last
More than
line?
one.
Second time she said that.
Country?
More than one? Henry, the last words that you wrote,
100?
what were they? We're running out of time, Henry. Trying to get a little bit of your education.
Bad at love?
Looking for.
Henry,
Black hair.
who had black hair?
Number 1?
Henry, we're going to wrap this up. Can you tell us good night?
Smile.
The gospel?
Henry, one more image, we'll wrap it up. Can you give us another image?
Time?
Fine.
Time?
Henry, one last image. Going once.
Two.
The monster or something.
Impressed.
Henry, can you tell us good night and give us another image? Going once. I thought you was
Not bad at all.
You got something? Yeah.
Oh, the galaxy shows
Heart.
like planes. Like you?
Okay, Henry, last chance. Going twice.
Governor.
Come on, Henry. Okay, Henry, that's it. Alright, let's get the blindfolded ladies tapped out. Let's go ahead and tap them on the leg. I knew you were going to start a lick coming up like that. Actually, go ahead and pull that off your face. Nobody get up, because I don't like baby giraffes to fall on the ground. If you guys get used to the light again. And we're going to take a look at these images that Ashley has. Who has a recordable one? So, Cheyenne, go ahead and there's a button next to your volume. You're going to turn it in the opposite direction, so it turns the machine off. Cameras, you can go ahead and hit stop at this point. That's the record button on the back for you, Austin. Yep.